Hey everyone, it's Sue and welcome back to Discovering the Art of Living. Now if you're new to my channel, click on the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of the artsy crafty fun. So today's Fine Art Friday episode is a little extra special. So you may remember that I have recently joined the YouTube program at Beebeecraft. This is where you get sent $30 to $40 worth of their craft products completely free. No credit card, no shipping charges, no hidden fees, completely free to your doorstep in a few weeks. All you have to do is make 3 videos for them. One is an unboxing where you show off all the amazing craft supplies that you received, and then 2 more DIY videos using those particular products. So I already did my unboxing video as well as my craft video last week, which was using some of the paper quilling strips that I got to make an amazing hummingbird picture. So if you missed any of those, you can click on the link above. So what does that have to do with Fine Art Friday, you might ask? Well, in addition to all of the amazing craft supplies, Beebeecraft also has some art supplies. So I am going to be using some really cool brushes and little mini canvases that I bought to make a new series of paintings for spring. I'm going to be doing some tiny little butterfly paintings. So if you want to see how I make out using the items that I got from Beebeecraft and how you can also get some free products, let's get started. So here are 4 of the 10 mini canvases that I got from Beebeecraft. Now the environmental part of me was a little annoyed that each one was individually wrapped in plastic. However, it definitely did protect them. They were very well preserved. There was no marks, dings, or anything on them, so I do appreciate that. So I unwrapped them and they are so darn cute. The little canvas sits right on the little easel and the wood is actually really good quality. I thought maybe that might be, some marks on them or some knots in them, but they were quite good quality little easels. I also got this 2-pack of brushes from Beebeecraft. Now they are student grade, they are not professional grade brushes, but I was anxious to see how they worked out. There was a package of a variety of flat brushes and round ones, and they were for acrylic paint. And on the back they also told you the different brushes that were in and the different sizes, and they were numbered and they had wooden handles on them, so they looked like they were pretty decent quality. So I will link in the description box below these specific products and the Beebeecraft website so you can check them out. Now the rest of these items I did not get from Beebeecraft. I got this Liquitex basic set at Michael's with a coupon, and I will link that below. And if you're just starting out and you want to just try acrylic painting, you can just use Walmart brand paint or you can use Dollar Tree paint. But if you want to step it up a notch and get a little bit more in depth in your acrylic painting, this is a good set to try. Now this thing here is handy dandy too. It was really expensive, so I would definitely suggest using your 40% off coupon at Michael's. But it's a tray for holding your acrylic paints. So unlike watercolor paint, acrylic dries extremely quickly, so you cannot save your paint to use the next day. So it will dry out and be unusable. So this little cover on it helps keep it from drying out. Now the good thing about this big set of acrylic paints is you don't have to worry about color mixing if you're just starting out, because there are a lot of different shades of different colors. That could also be a problem because I wanted to use yellow and blue, but as you can see here there are 7 or 8 different shades of yellow and 7 or 8 different shades of blue. So you just have to kind of play around with it and see what colors you're kind of looking for. So I picked a darker shade of yellow and a darker shade of blue to try out. So I'm going to be starting with the backgrounds for my little canvases. So I have a flat brush here to do the background, and as you can see they are numbered on here, so the bigger the number, the bigger the brush. So again, if you're just starting out and just using dollar store paint or Walmart paint, you can just use water to thin them down. However, using the Liquitex Basics, I have really been loving this matte medium. And the reason I do is because it doesn't get rid of the value of your color. It's still nice and bright, not watered down, but it allows the paint to flow more smoothly. So I just put a little dab of that in my tray. Now like I said, acrylic paint dries really quickly, so you don't want to put too much paint in your tray. You can always add more, but once it dries up, it's pretty much garbage. And the other handy thing about the tray is when the paint does dry up, it just peels right off and your tray comes out brand new. This one I've used about 15-20 different times. Now I do use water to rinse off my brush at first because there is a little bit of a crusty layer on brand new brushes. You want to get that off. And also when you change colors of paint, you want to rinse and scrub your brush in the water to get all the other color out first. So I got my brushes ready. So it's been a while since I've used acrylic paint. I've been kind of watercoloring lately, and the technique is completely different. You can't really let the colors run into each other like you can in watercolor to make subtle backgrounds. And also you want to start with your dark colors and build up to your light. Where with watercolor, you want to start with your light and then go progressively darker. But acrylic is way more forgiving because if you make a boo-boo, you can completely paint over it once it dries. Now you also want to paint the sides of your canvas because you're going to be displaying them. So with that, I could use water to water down the paint just because you're not really going to see it very well. So these backgrounds are kind of like the blurred background of the butterfly landing on a field of flowers or on some leaves. So they don't have to be very distinct. So the next canvas I was going to do sort of different shades of green. So I picked out the colors that I wanted and then again just using the matte medium and the paint put on the backgrounds, and I continued with the other two canvases and let them dry. Now I must say I was really impressed with the quality of these brushes. None of the little hairs came out and they all retained their shape. Now this one was a little darker than I wanted, and I wanted a bit of a highlight in the center, so I could just add some of the yellowy green on top and blend it in. Now I will put in the description box below the variety of colors that I use, but just kind of use your own imagination. So by the time I got the fourth background done, the first one was completely dry and ready to paint the butterflies on. That's the beauty of acrylic paint. So now I switched from the flat brushes to put the background on to the round brushes to do more of the detail. So I went with the really tiny brushes, size 1, 2, and 3, since my butterflies had a lot of tiny detail. Now again, opposite to watercolor, you want to start with your darkest color first and work your way up. So for this butterfly, it was black, so I did the complete silhouette of the butterfly in black and let it dry. Next, I found the darkest color in the flower and the stem and leaves and put that on, and then worked my way up, putting the lighter colors on top, looking at my reference photo. Now as you can see here, my white is almost used up because you do use it a lot for making highlights. So I would suggest buying a bigger tube of white paint and or black as well. So I just put some highlights on to make it a bit more three-dimensional. So here's my first cute little butterfly all done, and unfortunately I ran out of room on my phone to record the painting of the other three, but I will show you the finished product. And hopefully you enjoy my spring butterfly series, and catch you next time on Discovering the Art of Living.